Oh man, welcome back to Later with Leon. I'm your host, the Destined Legend Leon Rogers. And hey, who doesn't like to talk about sex, okay? Whether you're trying to get some or whether somebody ain't giving you some, you gotta have somebody to talk to. Well, with me today, got a good friend of mine, certified sexologist from the ACS, real Glamazon Tyomi. Glamazon Tyomi, how you doing?
I'm great.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah. So what is a certified sexologist and ACS? What, hit me with all of them, because that's a lot to digest.
I know. So ACS is the American College of Sexologists, and a certified sexologist is someone who has a well-versed knowledge and training in the science of sex.
Okay, so now for all other little thirsty dirtbags that's out there, in their mind, you just walking into school, sign up, and just competing orgies every day. Like, is that, what is the school like? Is it textbooks or just like beds everywhere in the school, like lesson 4?
Well, the ACS is an organization, but my training has come through self-study over the last 9 years of my life, and I'm also a certified authentic tantra practitioner. So I've done over 800 hours of meditation and tantric practice to help people use their sexual energy for healing and for more pleasure.
So now, I'm glad you said that. So now we can get into this a little deeper. No pun intended. Stop it. So when we always talk about the pleasures of sex, people know it make you feel good. It's with somebody you care about or somebody you paid $40 to. Or
the fact that you mentioned that is everything to me.
What is the harsh reality of sex? Because, you know, if you get out of the physical, what are some of the harsh realities about sex?
Harsh reality is it's never going to be exactly what you expect it to be. Our fantasies don't always play out the way that we think they're going to, and there are certain things in our environment, certain things in our social environment, certain things in the relationship that may come up from the past that can kind of impact the way that you connect with yourself and your partner sexually. And I don't think that people are well equipped or even prepared for the harsh realities of what sex actually looks like when you apply it to your practical life. And people get frustrated because they don't have the tools to be able to navigate that. And it's not like there is some school that everyone goes to pre-qualify them before they get into marriage or before they start having sex. So people are just kind of picking up tidbits along the way from parents or peers or publications or pornography. And it's not always necessarily a full encompassed education. And so people are out here hurting themselves or hurting other people. You know, we see with the hashtag #MeToo situation, consent is a big thing that people don't really know about, such a gray area with consent. So, yeah. Those are the things that I've noticed.
So now if you sit down with a couple, a lot of times comparison comes into play.
Yeah.
So somebody who's boyfriend and girlfriend now, you know, how do you have them get over that hump of maybe she's comparing him to her former lovers and he's doing the same and they can't move forward? What were some ways you try to break that down and stop the comparison? Because it's a natural thing.
It's a natural thing. And it's difficult to stop it when your mind is rooted in the past, but it's all about being present and being mindful of the fact that you have somebody in front of you who's brand new. You really don't know what the roadmap to their pleasure is. You just assume based off of your previous experiences. So instead of assuming, have the conversation, talk about it more. And it's not just talking about, oh, what freaky things you want to do. Really delving into mental history. You know, people don't think about how mental health has an effect on your sex life, and just staying present with the person that's in front of you, not painting this picture of someone from the past on the person that's in the present.
Wow. So let's talk about intimacy.
Yes.
Now, there are many different levels of intimacy, I believe. One is a physical part of sex, but one is just being able to look into somebody's eyes and see something too. How does intimacy play a role in sexual health and well-being?
It plays very deeply. There are a lot of people who actually need intimacy, they need connection, they need emotional connection to even get into a sexual act. And I think that that's something that's overlooked a lot of times because people just want sex to be spontaneous. But kissing, holding hands, locking eyes, syncing your breath. These are things that we do in Tantra to help with connection first. Because before you can even move into the physical act of sex, you have to connect at the heart centers. You know, sex, at the end of the day, the underlying need when we say, I want to have sex with you is, I want to connect with you. And so intimacy is the first step for amazing sex, and people kind of skip over that because of whatever their programming or deal is around it. But I'm always encouraging couples to start with the basics, you know, kind of define what does intimacy look like to you, because for everybody it looks like something different.
Okay, where can people reach out to you at? Look right in that camera right there and tell them your website and what you got going on Instagram.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Real Glamazon Tyomi, and you can find me on my blog site, glamorerotica101.com, and you can also find my YouTube channel from there. And if you put Tyomi in Google, you can literally find everything.
They catch you at Exotica. You got a book out and everything. Give it up for Glamazon Tyomi. We'll be right back.